All right, y'all, what's going on? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well. And I wanted to do a little bit of a fun video here today. Kind of try to stay away from some of the negativity, which is kind of warranted right now. A little bit of Marvel Strike Force, but wanted to do something a little fun, right? Fun video, talk about my top 10 favorite Marvel Strike Force characters in the game right now. I think I made the video like this maybe 2 years ago, but I feel like it's kind of cool to do stuff like this and just to remind ourselves that the reason why we play Marvel Strike Force is for fun. Sometimes you kind of do remove a little bit of that, but wanted to kind of try to find a way to kind of just insert a little bit more fun. And I also want to hear about your top 10 favorite Marvel Strike Force characters as well, right? Like, leave it in the comments. Let me know. What do you think about my favorite list? We're going to go through that here as well. I want to clarify, this is not necessarily a top 10 favorite Marvel characters list. We probably can make a video about that in the future. If that's something that you would like to see, let me know. Leave it in the comments as well. But let's not tarry, guys. Let's actually go into it. And this is going to be in no particular order. I do want to say that now. The first character on my list is going to be my main man, Shang-Chi, man. Like, I love Shang-Chi. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When we first got the announcement of Shang-Chi, that he was going to be part of the Heroes for Hire team, they're going to be War Defense, I was like, screw that, bro. Like, do we need Heroes for Hire to be stronger, for them to be more dynamic? And they were a nightmare with Shang-Chi. Now Heroes for Hire is a little bit more solid. There's a lot more counters to that team. But as an individual character, Shang-Chi was absolutely amazing in this game. Now, ultimate ability is probably one of my favorite animations to watch, and a lot of what I talk about on this list, guys, is going to be like animations and looks and feel, because that to me is what's the fun about playing this game, right? Like visuals, right? Like, we're stimulated by a lot of those things. So his ultimate attack, yes, does a lot of damage, but it's also just how cool he looks doing. And if you've never turned on your sound to listen to the Shang-Chi ult animation, it's just kind of cool to me. It's like, yo, it's just so dope watching him do that. Like, I just really enjoy it. Obviously too, like, he's a little bit of utility with the special. He can clear positive effects, clear negative effects off allies, or at least one negative effect off an ally with the special. He can also apply some healing. You get the reduction in speed bar with the ultimate ability. Also, his special speeds him up so that you can get to his turns a little bit faster. And then this costume, man, this costume right here is pretty dope. Obviously, they're taking this from the MCU. They didn't really figure out the sneakers. The sneakers actually looked a little bit better in the movie, so maybe they should amend that, but they probably won't. But listen, Shang-Chi, for me, for all those things, man, are on this list. He's also available to earlier players now too, right? So earlier players can get access to him and just target farm him in that Blitz store. Love Shang-Chi. Next character on this list for me here is Captain America Sam, another character that just looks really dope, right? Like, this suit to me is just everything. Like, I gotta give it up to Boundless Entertainment and their animations and costumes and looks. They usually get it right, except for like Hulk and how he looks, but it's a separate conversation for a different time. But usually they get the stuff pretty right, like the animations, the costumes, the look, they get it down right. And this, like, the wings here just look so good and just crisp. You got the red eyes right here, the glasses, the shield. I mean, everything just looks so good. And then once again, animations. I love watching Captain America Sam just like fly into battle. I love him, watching him when he does his ultimate ability. It's so just visually satisfying watching him do that. But of course, yeah, he is great individually himself. And I remember when we first got Captain Sam as an announcement in the Secret Avengers team, we were like, is this team skippable? We soon found out that no, this team is absolutely dynamic, not just in raids, but they're dynamic in a lot of different game modes, in Alliance War, now Cosmic Crucible, Tower. They're a really good team. Captain America Sam, for me though, definitely one of my favorite characters just because of those animations. And then, of course, like, his strong utility kit. I don't need to talk about why Captain America Sam is good. We can see it and read the kit and just know why, right? Next character on this list for me is Thor. I'm cheating a little bit because Thor is like just my favorite Marvel character ever. I used to grow up just wanting to be Thor, thought I was Thor. I used to pretend to fly with Thor. I mean, God, just the light. Oh my God. Love Thor. Favorite character, favorite Marvel character ever. And the fact that he's now gotten a rework, he's one of my favorite Marvel Strike Force characters ever as well, right? So loved using them in the War Scourge event. mean, the reason why we were able to get through no 5 and no 10 as easily was simply because the store was just so damn dynamic with the damage, the charges, and then proccing with that passive, the ultimate with the stun is special. A lot of damage output that you're able to get from Thor. So love the fact that he's gotten a rework. Love the fact that he's a better character now in this game. I love this costume. I know a lot of people don't like it. I love this costume. What I don't like is the face. Give me the Chris Hemsworth face, guys. You did it with Sharon Carter, with giving us Emily Van Camp. You can do the same thing as well with Chris Hemsworth. We want the Chris Hemsworth face, okay? That's what we want. Give the people what they want, but once again, love it. I also would love to be able to hit this button, man. I want to hit the G16 button, but I can't because of Apocalypse, right? So I gotta wait, I gotta pause, I gotta be patient, I gotta use my Mystic Gear wisely, which is one of the things that I don't like about Apocalypse, because I'm like, oh, now I have to like be careful about how I'm using my gear. Like, I just want to do passion project things, right? But next character on my list, Spider-Man Miles. And I think I was probably one, if you've been following my content for a while, you know that I was one of the few people that was praising Miles and saying, Miles got a good kit, guys. Miles got a good kit. Just need to give him some stats. And I'm happy that he's gotten a rework, that he's gotten some better stats here. A little on the squishy side. And the Bio Doom raids, Doom 3 raids just suck in general. Too much RNG, too much unavoidable hits. Like it's a lot for them, right? But I've always loved this kit. I thought the special reduction in speed bar by 50%, slow for 2 turns. I've always thought this is like really good utility, right? Like really good utility kit to use. This ultimate here, a disrupt to the primary target for XYZ turns. Then of course now if you T4 it, then you get it to the additional targets. Always thought that was useful. Now of course the basic has been improved where he can clear positive effects with his basic, and passive can apply defense down. Although it's a random target, he can apply defense down. Let me move this cursor away from the equip all button before I accidentally hit that. But I've always loved this kit and I thought it was very, very good utility kit. I used to use him like early when I did like a beginner account. I used to use them with like Drax and Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel and I think Loki against what was sort of kind of the meta back then, which was like Defenders in Arena. I used to use him to slow down Luke Cage and then slow down Luke Cage, disrupt Luke Cage. Luke Cage would never take a turn. I would kill everybody else and then move on with my life, right? So it was like I said, always had a good utility kit. I'm glad that he got a rework now, but yeah, still one of my favorite characters in the game. Gamora, another rework character that is, I hated her. I really, really hated Gamora prior to her rework. I was like, why aren't you better? You know, I just wanted her to be good. And when she got her rework, when she got her rework and she became empowered, her basic attack was just devastating, right? The bleeds, I think one of my favorite things once again is like animations and sounds, right? It's like slash, 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 slash with the basic attack. Dope. And of course her with Nebula was just wow, right? Like that dynamic combo was amazing, which is one of the reasons why Gamora and Nebula are like, if you're a free-to-play player, I kind of recommend trying to get Nebula and Gamora to use in early arena. Listen, it's not going to last forever, but it's a good little way to kind of chip away at arena a little bit in the earlier onset of the game until you get some better characters. But right now, Gamora and Infinity Watch are still even using endgame content right now, right? Like I'm definitely getting a ton of value using Gamora. I have a 7 red star Gamora. She still does a lot of really, really good damage. So listen, man, Gamora, once again, it's animations. It's also the costume look too. Like these two costumes here, I like this one less because I like to see the face. But I like this costume as well. Love the big ass sword, man. This big sword is a thing for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that means about me, but I love the sword. But all right, next on this list here, once again, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm talking about Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is one of my favorite Marvel characters ever. And I'll be honest with you, when she first got introduced into Marvel Strike Force, I forgot like how long ago, I wasn't a really big fan of Squirrel Girl. I didn't really know much about her. I knew who she was. Like I knew her name was Doreen Green and she was Squirrel Girl, but I thought she was kind of a little bit ridiculous. And probably some players still do feel the same way. But You know, I was like, I kind of fell in love with the storyline after, like, because usually what happens is that characters get released into the game. If I don't know who they are much, or I don't know much about them, I'll go like read comics on them and try to figure out like who they are, and like try to figure out, okay, well, did they based on her kit, did they get the kit right? Like things like that I'll do when characters get released. And I just fell in love with the character. And then I to the point where I brought her up to like G14. She wasn't that good. She wasn't really crazy useful. She wasn't terrible, but I found usages for her. And then now that she got her rework, I mean, man, she's really good, right? Like I used her in Dark Dimension 5. No regrets there bringing her up to G16. I would love what she's the offense down. The special is really what you have her for, right? The turn meter that she gets with her passive, and then being able to clear all positive effects and also apply healing. I think she's great. I love this character. I love how she looks too. The fact that they also included Tippy into the game alongside her. I just think that's really dope. I also like some of the names of her skills. Eat nuts. Like, it's just so silly, but I love it. Like I said, she's one of my top, not just top favorite Marvel Strike Force characters. She's not like one of my top 5 Marvel characters ever. I just really love Squirrel Girl. So it's probably hard for me to not put her on this list. Next character here is Bishop, and falling out of the meta, the X-Men team is about to kind of get completely shipped out of the meta if it were not probably for Cosmic Crucible a little bit with the Age of X. But Bishop and Jubilee and Beast and that entire team was probably one of my favorite teams, if not my favorite teams in the game when they were first released. And Bishop was a large part of that, right? I've always loved Bishop from the cartoons. I'm like praying that he gets added into the MCU, although I don't know where that would make sense in terms of timeline, because you have like Deadpool and Cable now, and like technically Bishop isn't until like way later on. Basically, what does he do? Like kind of come in to clean up whatever Cable like screwed up, right? I think that's how the comics works. So like we're probably looking at him like way later on down the road, but like in the game, man, like he was kind of broken, right? Like short cooldown on his ultimate, 540% damage whenever he has charge, and he got charges by getting hit, which of course he spawned it with taunt, so he's gonna get hit and get more charges. His special ability when he had Jubilee would get offense up and do damage, and of course the more that he gets hit, then his speed bar also gets going as well. I just thought he was just so kind of like cool looking, and just his abilities were just so broken, and what he was able to do, I just felt like he was just one of my favorite characters in the game, and still one of my favorite characters. I'm just so saddened that I'm not going to be able to use him as much anymore because of Death Seed. I'm hoping that maybe he gets resurrected at some point in time, guys, in the game. But yeah, I really love Bishop. Next character on this list is Symbiote Spider-Man, another character that didn't really know much about until they got into the game, and then looked up some comics on him, and I'm like, yo, Symbiote Spider-Man, first of all, I knew who you were, I just ignored you. So that's also the thing, because I think like he was in the Amazing Spider-Man comic, so like I don't know how I missed that. But it like flat out, straight up, point blank period, reason why I liked him, he was good, but it was more so because I thought he had some of the coolest animations in the game, like the ultimate with the web slam, like picking up the character and slamming him down, dope as heck. The special with the throwing of the string and then slamming down, like I just thought he was so good. And then of course the symbiotes were so great, like in raids, right? And then in Dark Dimension, I remember using Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage, Hela, I'm forgetting who else in Dark Dimension 2, and just like running through that joint, like just running through it. It was so much fun using this team, using these characters. And of course Doom 1 raids, and it kind of just didn't do very well, right, in some of the Doom raids, and it kind of got phased out a little bit, but it was just kind of unfortunate. But still love Symbiote Spider-Man, still love the look. One of my favorite characters in the game. I'm like praying that like Null comes in and resurrects this team, although he's not a symbiote, but still be a part of like this bio team, right? Because technically would Null be bio? I'm not, I don't know if Null would be bio, but maybe like just coming in and resurrecting this team a little bit, probably maybe bringing in like maybe 2 other symbiotes, maybe keeping AV, Symbiote Spider-Man, maybe still using Carnage, and then probably bringing in like 2, Symbiote Spider-Man Anti-Venom, because that's another character that I really like too, with no, and then probably 2 new symbiotes, and making that a team would probably be really dope. I hope that was 5. Forgive me, I'm too excited right now to count properly, but yeah, man, I just really love Symbiote Spider-Man. I thought it was just really cool. All right, next character on this list here is Zemo. Not gonna talk too much about him, but I just thought that his kit was just was really kind of cool and dope. Like, I thought he was one of the better plug and play characters. I mean, passive on turn 1, blow up, ability block, and then turn 2, blow up again, do some more damage. I just thought he was dope, man. And he was also the answer to like Hydra and War Defense, right? With Red Skull, like he was another answer that was there. And then he was answer to the Mercs, like with Hela, and it's like some really cool things that he were able to do with him. I like that he made some of the Villains campaign stuff easier, like Villains Chapter 7-1. And he just looks, this costume just looks utterly ridiculous. I love him even more for that, right? So Zemo, definitely one of my favorite characters. And the next character on my list here, Silver Surfer, man. Like, I wanted this character to come into the game so bad. I just always thought that this Silver Man with a board would just look really cool animations wise in Marvel Strike Force. Just knowing what we know about how they do these kits and animations, right? I thought, damn it, man, if he ever came into this game, he would look really cool doing what he does, and he did. And he had his time in the meta. He's still used, but he's just not used as much anymore. I think that they'll probably still have some plans for Silver Surfer, right? Like, there has to be some sort of plan in the future for Silver Surfer where they're going to make him relevant again. Has to, like, how could you have Norrin Rad not be more relevant in the game, right? There has to be a way that they're going to be doing that. So looking forward to them probably making some changes there. But one of my favorite characters, love the animations, loved using him. I think I soloed, I watched Tony solo Dark Dimension 2 with him, so I did it myself. Using Silver Surfer to solo Dark Dimension 2, like when he first got released. It was fun. It was fun to do those simple things like that. He also was big in the arena meta against like the Black Order team too, so enjoy when he was released for sure. And then the last character on my list, I think this is like the 11th character. Last character on my list here is Anti-Venom. Kind of the same things with Symbiote Spider-Man. Just thought the animations were really cool. The entire Symbiote team, the animations I thought were just really dope. So I really enjoyed using this team. But that's pretty much it. There's so many other characters that I could talk about adding to this list. They're like my favorite Marvel Strike Force characters. Probably, I thought about Beast. Like, Beast is one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite characters in this game. I love a lot of what he's able to do here. I think just him being upside down, the fact that they brought that into the game, I think is really dope. Now there's going to be Dark Beast, right? It's just going to be added. There's Magic. I really like Magic too. Obviously, I have her at G16. I used her in Dark Dimension. No regrets where that is concerned. Trying to think who else. Like Omega Red is a character too that I could probably talk about. There's some other characters that are on this list that are more so my top 5 or top 10 favorite Marvel characters that probably wouldn't make it as top 10 MSF characters that we'll talk about, which is a different list, right? You can understand that, right? Like, there's top favorite Marvel characters ever, and then there's top Marvel Strike Force characters. So like I said, I want to see what your list is, guys. What are your thoughts there? Like, who do you really like? Who would you add on this list? Who are your favorites? Oh my God, I'm fumbling all over my words, guys. But listen, love making this video. It was exciting. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. And until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Hey, y'all be safe.